Pittsburg, and now here, the Pacifics to begin. The world-class thoroughbred with Wilson, Houston, and Steele. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take another. We have three. 1, 2, 3. Play ball!
On the mound for the Diamonds, number 12, left-hander Dennis Neal.
All right, everybody, just about set to start tonight's game, and Pacifics getting set in the lineup for San Rafael. Zach Pace, Johnny Bakakis, Matt Chavez, Mikhail Hovel being in their fourth spot again, Jeremy Williams, Ricky Gingros, Danny Gonzalez, Adrian Martinez, and David Kiriakos have the defensive alignment for Pittsburgh after the first pitch. So here's Zach Pace, who's really been a thorn in the side of the Diamonds throughout this series. Another good night last night. He was aboard 3 times the night before. Pace, left-handed batter, waits, and the pitch, and that is in there, a strike from Dennis Neal. Left to right in the outfield for Pittsburgh, Scott David, Tim Battle, Joe Lewis, Mejia, Rodriguez, Aaron Miles in the lineup tonight at second base, and Mike Taylor, third to first of the infield. Epler and Neal are the Pittsburgh battery this evening. No balls in 1 count. Left-hander coming out from the stretch. And the pitch, and that is low for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dennis Neal putting together some quality starts here for Pittsburgh this year. Get into that a little bit more as we move along. Zach waits, and the 1-1 offering. A changeup in there, a strike, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. So last night, a tough one for the Diamonds. A couple of 2-run home runs from Pittsburgh, but not enough. They led throughout most of the game last night, but in the late innings, unable to keep pace. And Pace bounces this one to first base, handled nicely that time by Mike Taylor. He takes it to the bag himself, and there is 1 out. So a good start to the first inning. First man up, first man out.
Batter number 5, Johnny
and that'll bring up Johnny Bakakis. So for Neal coming in with a record of just 1-0, but he's certainly pitched very well in all his starts so far. Left-hander kicks and fire. Bakakis, the right-handed batter, takes at the knees a strike. And the count 0-1. So Neal, against these Pacifics, back on June 19th, in a win for Pittsburgh, he went 8 strong innings and yielded 3 runs, but none of them earned. The 0-1 pitch to Bakakis up high, ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Made 4 starts coming into tonight's game, and ERA of 2.16. Neal, high leg kick and the pitch, and the 1-1 pitch is in there, a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He said, haven't heard from Tony?
Neal takes a long look in. Now he comes set. Big left-hander. Big sigh, high leg kick. Here's the pitch, and a check swing. Did not swing. They're going to appeal down at first base. Not even close. My vantage point, I'm over here adjacent from the Pittsburg dugout. Good look at that. That one wasn't even close. So Bakaka's still there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-handed batter waits, waving that bat, and swung on and missed. Strike 3 as the Diamonds throw that ball around the horn. And Neal with a good fastball that time, and Bakaka is unable to catch up, way behind that one. And first 2 men up and first 2 men out, and that'll bring up Matt Chavez. And Chavez getting another start at first base tonight. And for Chavez, a double play his first time last night. Did have an RBI single in last night's ball game. Right-handed hitting first baseman waits, and he takes a strike. And so far, Neal doing a nice job getting ahead of these hitters. He's been ahead of all 3 of them so far. Nothing in 1 here. Neal ready, and the 0-1 pitch, and that is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. June 13th versus the Admirals for Dennis. The Diamonds lost that ball game, and Neal got a no decision, but he did go 5 innings and yielded just the 2 runs. Walked 3, struck out 3, gave up 6 hits. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that is misses somewhere. Good looking fastball, but apparently outside or inside. Again, tough to tell from my vantage point, but the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Another beautiful sunny day here in Pittsburgh. A bit warm in Contra Costa County today. And as usual, as the night comes upon us, the temperature starts going down, starts getting quite comfortable. Here's a ground ball to third, gloved over there by Mejia, across the diamond to first, and picked out of the dirt by Mike Taylor. 3 up and 3 down for the Pacifics as they go 1-2-3, and we'll go to the home half of the first. Nothing across for San Rafael, and the Diamonds coming to bat.
Nice dig.
All right, bottom of the first we go, and here is the starting lineup for your Pittsburgh Diamonds. Scott David will lead it off and play left field. Aaron Miles in the lineup tonight. Bat second and play second, followed by Ricky Mejia at third. Canseco in the cleanup spot. He'll be the DH. Mike Taylor, Joe Lewis, Tim Battles in center field. Tyler Epler behind the plate, and Leo Rodriguez will be the shortstop tonight for Pittsburgh. And they will face right-hander Max Beatty. And Beatty getting set to start. Max out of the San Diego organization. And the first pitch is a bit outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Low 90s fastball for Max. A two-seamer that runs into the right-handers. Also a slider, curve, and a change. Swing and a foul straight back. And the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike to Scott David. Corey Buschanek, one of the other pitchers, got into last night's ball game for the Pacifics. A local guy from the Marin County actually recommended Beatty to the Pacifics. And so Max ended up in the Pacifics uniform. Next pitch is high, count 2 balls and a strike. And Corey out of Drake High School, College of Marin product. 2-1 pitch, swing and a foul straight back to the screen, and the count remains 2 balls and a strike. So some of the strikes for Max, spots the fastball pretty well, and a lot of times he'll work backward, which means he'll kind of start out those at-bats with some of those curveballs and then kind of go to the fastball after that. And now the 2-2 pitch, swing, and that ball is laced down the left field line. That is in there for a base hit. Down into the corner it goes. David headed for second base. He'll stop there with a lead-off double, and just like that, the Diamonds are in business. So Scott David gets it started off with the double. And that'll bring up the player manager, Aaron Miles. A couple of transactions for the Diamonds. One is they activated Aaron Miles back to the lineup, and to make room for him, they released Nash Hutter. Aaron, left-handed batter, of course, spent 9 years in the major league with various teams, including the 2006 World Series champion Cardinals. And the skip takes high for ball 1, 1-0. So David, a double. Miles trying to, if nothing else, at least get him over to third base with less than 2 outs. Aaron, left-handed batter, waits. Here comes Beatty's pitch. Swing and foul at the plate. Come over here back to the screen. And we count 1 ball and 1 strike. I was looking at the other day, and this 2006 Cardinals, you see the Cardinals year after year, they're always so good. Only 83 wins in that 2006 season en route to that World Championship. Not a great regular season, but it doesn't matter how you start, it matters how you finish. This one poked down the left field line, and that'll be wide of third and foul. And giving chase over there is Adrian Martinez, unable to come up with the play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Aaron. So here's the kind of guy who can do very well with situational hitting. Aaron Miles, the Antioch product, waits. And Beatty's pitch, swing, that one is lined.
Where's your helmet?
So Aaron's still up there, the count 1-2. Beatty looks in at left side of the infield and the outfield, still bathed in sunshine. David with his lead at second base, nobody holding him on over there. Here's the pitch, swing, and a ground ball to the right side. Backhanded nicely, flipped to the pitcher, covering for the out, but Miles gets the job done.
All right.
As Chavez able to make the play and tosses to Beatty, covering over there at first base. That'll bring up Rich Mejia. Single to center leading off last night's game. And he takes ball one. Actually, a couple of singles for Mejia last night. Had one in the fifth as well. Now here trying to pick up an RBI and give the Diamonds the lead. Here's the pitch. Swing and a ground ball to second. Gloved over there. The run will score, and the out is recorded. But the Diamonds are on the board first, and they lead it 1-0. So Kiriakos makes the play over to Chavez at first. But on the play, David comes in to score, and Mejia picks up the RBI. So here's Canseco, 3 hits in last night's ball game, including an RBI, and scored ahead of a couple of home runs last night. And the big guy takes in there for a strike in the knees, and they count no balls and 1 strike. It's been quite a treat here for everybody. Good crowd here tonight. Bleachers all the way around, Phil. The pavilion looks full as well. And this pitch in there, a strike, 0-2, and the crowd didn't like that. So a couple of nights ago, Jose got in as a pitcher, pitching the 8th and 9th inning, and actually threw up a couple of scoreless frames in that lopsided game 2 nights ago. This one bouncing up there, and they count 1-2. But a big night at the plate for Jose last night. And a couple of shots into left field. Nick DeBar a couple of nights ago really had his number, but last night Jose was back on the beam. Here's Jose waiting, and he bends out of the way of this one. Jose, of course, participating in the home run derby earlier tonight. Was a big treat for the crowd. And it was won by Marco Cartanea, one of the Pittsburg High coaches. This one is fouled back, and the count remains at 2-2. So a home run derby, always a big treat. Everybody was certainly entertained by that. It's been a very entertaining 3 games here so far. Remember, stoppers come in tomorrow. Swing and a miss by Jose. And he'll be tagged. Now they're going to say he just did get a piece of that one to keep it alive. So Jose's still up there with the count at 2-2. Nobody aboard, 2 outs, 1 in here in the first for the Diamonds. Jose swing and a miss on a high fastball, and strike 3, so down he goes. Well, the Diamonds do play to run. David's leadoff double is not wasted. Aaron Miles got him to first. Ricky Mejia with a ground out got him home. And we'll go to the second, 1-0 in favor of Pittsburgh.
Hey, don't forget to visit the snack bar for all your refreshment needs. Check out Chef Jay's Pizza Shack. Pizza, hot dogs, EJ Fair.
Let's go,
At the end of the day, get yourself some Skittles, man. You gotta have those Skittles. Skittles and sunflower seeds. Hey kids, don't forget, if you get those foul balls and take them to the concession stand, they'll give you candy. Foul balls equal candy.
We're going to activate.
Oh, yeah, you're in? I can't sit wait my turn. Yeah, when you're playing.
All right, top of the second we go.
Mikhail.
Second inning of work now here for Dennis Neal after throwing up a 1-2-3 frame in the first. He'll deal with Mikhail Hova, Jeremy Williams, Ricky Gingros, and then should anybody reach, we'd see the shortstop, Danny Gonzalez. Mikhail Hova hitting the ball very hard. A pair of singles last night, including an RBI single late in the ball game to conclude the scoring last evening. And the first pitch to the big right-hander is high, ball one. And Mikhail has certainly hit the ball well in the first couple of games of this series. Usually making some loud outs, and finally last night, after about 5 or 6 at-bats in the series, didn't hit the ball hard. Spanks this one on the ground. Rodriguez backs up, has it, fires, gets him at first base. So Hova grounds to short, and that'll bring up Jeremy Williams. Williams a walk last night, a couple of ground outs. 3 ground outs and a strikeout last night.
Jeremy Williams.
So Williams bats here, nobody aboard, 1 out. Another beautiful night for baseball here in Pittsburgh. Neal kicks and fires on the first pitch to Williams, inside, 1 ball and no strikes. A little bit later on, start talking about the types of players the Diamonds are getting, how this kind of thing works out. And as we move along, we'll be a little more specific about some of the players and their situations. Big swing and a miss by Williams that time. The count goes to 1 ball and 1 strikes. Neal ready. Now he comes set, kicks and fires the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Another good fastball. He sure has had that tonight. Another win for Sonoma last night. Williams checks his swing, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sonoma a 1-0 win over the Admirals. All the runs that we've seen scored here in the last couple of nights. Very tough to score runs at Arnold Field in Sonoma last night. And Sonoma picks up yet another win, and they're starting to run away and hide from everybody in the Pacific Association. All right. Williams awaits a 2-2 pitch. Neal kicks, fires, swinging a ground ball to third. Mejia's got it. Fires over to first in time for out number 2. So Williams grounds to third for out number 2, and that'll bring up the catcher, Ricky Gingros.
Number 25, Ricky Gingros.
So some of the types of players that the Diamonds are getting, and players that have been drafted but released. Battle and Rodriguez among those. And maybe free agents, guys who played in college, want to give another shot to pro baseball. And kind of an interesting situation how they live out here. And the pitch is taken in, and that is ball 1 to Ricky Gingros. You got host families around Pittsburgh, usually no more than 10 to 15 miles away from the ballpark. Players live with the families during the summertime and come to the ballpark and just play baseball. Pitch to Gringos, and that is just low. Nice looking frame job by Tyler Epler, but the home plate umpire says no, too low, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. So if you want to be a host family, get in touch with the Diamonds, and you can host one of these players. Help them to possibly fulfill their dreams of getting to the major leagues. Big swing and a miss. So Gingros, as Neal looked to change the eye level on that pitch for Gingros, went way up high. And Gingros unable to catch up. 2 balls and a strike. Gingros ahead in the count, thought needed something good to hit. Just couldn't quite catch up to the fastball. The 2-1, and that is low. 3 balls and a strike. Should Ricky keep it alive, we'd see Danny Gonzalez. And how they get host families, usually word of mouth, Facebook. And those families get season tickets, discount on merchandise, and other perks. I'm certainly very appreciative of the families that can help support Diamonds baseball. And this one is going to be low and outside, ball 4. And Gingros aboard at first base. And that ends the string. The Neal had retired the first 5 batters he had faced, and now Gingros
Brings up the batter, number
draws a
12,
2-out bases empty walk, and here comes Danny Gonzalez. So 2-out magic. We've seen quite a bit of that last night, including from the Diamonds. And back in the 4th inning, Tim Battle's 2-run home run came with 2 outs. And this pitch is fished for and missed. Gingros taking a short lead. Neal turns and looks over there. Now he's going to throw over with Taylor covering, but really Gingros not much of a lead, and usually a catcher, a guy who spends so much time in the crouch, not usually a fast runner, although sometimes that might fool you. Neal looks over. Now he's coming to the plate. This one is swung on into center field. That's Tim Battle waiting for it, and he makes the catch. So a walk, no runs, 1 man left. And after we played an inning and a half, 1-0 Diamonds.
They will notice the difference. Everybody knows what I do. When they see a difference, they already know who's on the other end.
Batter number 5, first baseman.
All right, home half of the second we go. 1-0 in favor of the Diamonds. Here is Mike Taylor to lead it off. Taylor, Joe Lewis, and Tim Battle, should anybody reach. We'd see the catcher Tyler Epler. So Taylor, good night last night, went yard to get things started off for the Diamonds. Give them a 2-0 lead, and Mike looks at one over his head, ducks out of the way. And they count 1-0. Obidi kicks and fires, and the pitch swinging a foul back. We got a piece of the catcher and maybe the umpire as well. And they count 1 ball and 1 strike. So Taylor last night, that 2-run home run coming after a Jose Canseco single. And that gave the Diamonds a 2-0 lead. A pair of 2-run home runs last night for the Diamonds. Swinging a ground ball wide of third, and that is foul. The count goes to 1-2. The shadows starting to cover most of the field now as Taylor leans out of the way of that one. The count goes to 2-2. Shortstop and a little bit of sunshine, still some shadows. The middle of that left field wall still lit up pretty brightly. Taylor waits. Here's a 2-2 swing and a miss. Strike three. A fastball right by him. Taylor unable to catch up, and he is out number one here in the home half of the second. So that'll bring up the Pittsburgh native, Joe Lewis.
Batter number 32, right fielder, Joe Lewis.
Pittsburgh native with a famous sports name. Left-handed batter waits. Big hitter, and he's going to lace this one foul over the screen in the Pacifics dugout, and the count goes 0-1. Lewis to be followed by center fielder Tim Battle, and possibly Tyler Epler, and he's going to lay down a bunt. It's just going to be just foul. But a good idea there, because Adrian Martinez playing very deep at third base, not expecting the bunt at all. So a good thought that time by Joe Lewis, unable to execute. And we count 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a foul. And the count remains 0-2. So that pitcher's duel in Sonoma last night, Demetrius Banks of the Admirals didn't give up a hit until the fourth inning. But Gregory Paulino was even better. Here's another foul ball. And the count remains 0-2. Gregory Paulino really good last night with a shutout over the Admirals, and he had 12 strikeouts in that game and yielded just 4 hits. Timeout called at home plate, and Sonoma now coming in at 15-3. And they are putting quite a bit of distance between themselves and everybody else, the Pacific Association. Here's the pitch, a called strike three to Joe Lewis. No argument from Joe. He just turns and walks back to the dugout. So Beatty gets the strikeout. First two men out here in the second. That'll bring up Tim Battle. So Tim Battle, a great catch in center field to save a couple of runs late in the ball game last night when the Diamonds went to the bullpen. Rob Ellis had picked up for James Trevis in the 5th inning. Gave up a shot to center field, swing and a miss from Tim Battle on a low pitch that time, swinging over the top, and it's 0-1. And Tim also a 2-run shot last night. Next pitch to Tim is in there, a strike, and they count 0-2. Battle's 2-run home run followed a Canseco single. Came with 2 outs in the 4th and gave the team a 4-2 lead. And that is a check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, and the inning is over. So a couple of strikeouts here in the frame for Beatty, and that is it here at the top of the second. Here in the bottom of the second, rather, we'll go to the 3rd inning, a 1-0 Diamonds lead.
In the best coming around with that signed jersey from Jose Canseco, $10 raffle tickets. We're going to announce that winner in the 9th inning. So get your tickets for that signed jersey. They're walking around, $10 a raffle ticket. Signed jersey. Game 1. Kids, go hang out on that jump.
That other girl sang it twice the last 2 nights, and she did a really nice job too. Really nice voices.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful evening here. Sun setting in City Park. You're here, we're here.
All right, top of the third we go. And Adrian Martinez will lead it off for the Pacifics. No runs, no hits so far for San Rafael through 2. As Dennis Neal looking really good here in the early go. Let's see if he can keep it going here in the third frame. Had a chance to talk to skipper Aaron Miles about Dennis before the game. As Neal gets set to work his third frame. Left-hander comes in, and this one inside, 1 ball and no strikes. He talked about his ability to change speed, the quickness of his delivery, and it gives him a bunch of different looks. Change up, curveball, fastball, and a slider. And really, as far as what he features is kind of what's working that night. Here's the pitch from Neal, swinging a foul straight back in the count, 1-1. And so far tonight, he's been able to stay ahead of most of these hitters. And as you get the count even here at 1 ball and 1 strike. Neal will look in. Now he comes set. Martinez waits. The 1-1 pitch, swing, and a foul coming up and over the screen. I'm just trying to make sure it's not coming toward me. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. And to the Pacific's third baseman, Adrian Martinez. Martinez to be followed by David Kiriakos, and then back to the top of the order in the designated hitter, Zach Pace. Right-handed batter waits. Neal delivers the 1-2 pitch, swing, and a foul. Up and over the screen here to the right side and out of play, and the count remains at 1-2. So far for the Pacifics, just the 1 walk to Ricky Gingros. So Neal in control here in the early going. Has retired 6 of the first 7 batters he has faced. Here come Neal. Now he's set. The 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Swinging. This one is lined into right field. That'll be a base hit right between Taylor and Aaron Miles over there at second base. And the first hit of the night for the Pacifics. And they've got their first base hit for Adrian Martinez leading off the third.
Man at first, brings up the batter number 2, David Kiriakos.
So here's Kiriakos. A single, a hit by pitch, 2 RBI single in the 5th, another RBI single in the 9th. He's going to lay down the bunt. This one is just going to go foul, rolling up toward first base. As Mike Taylor fields it, and the count no balls and 1 strike. So Kiriakos, the 9th place hitter, hit the 9th spot last night. Very productive night for him. He was on 4 out of the 5 times that he was up there, so certainly a big night for your 9th place hitter. Now just trying to sacrifice this last time. Let's see what he wants to do here. Neal check on the runner. And the pitch, the 0-1 pitch is way up high. Kiriakos did show bunt, pull back, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Lead-off base hit here for the Pacifics, trying to knock things up or, if not, do better. A 1-0 Diamonds lead. Top of the 3rd inning from City Park here in Pittsburgh. Swears to bunt, pulls back, takes the ball. It's 2-1. So Adrian Martinez being held on by Mike Taylor, not taking a real big lead. It's always tough for those runners to get that lead with the left-handed pitcher, Neal. Takes a look over at the runner, coming to the plate, swing and a foul straight back. Up and over the screen and out of play, and that makes the count 2-2. So you would figure that would take the bunt off. Swinging there, and now with 2 strikes, usually not good a bunt in that situation. And the 9th place hitters, certainly they are going to ask you to sacrifice and try to move runners along. 2-2 pitch. Kiriakos just did get a piece, and the count remains 2-2. 1-2-3 frame in the first for Neal. He did yield the walk to Ricky Gingros with 2 outs and nobody aboard in the second. Got Danny Gonzalez to end the frame. Now a leadoff single here to Adrian Martinez. And a 2-2 count to Kiriakos. Swings and lifts this one into right field. Lewis is there, waiting, makes the catch, and Martinez will return to first. So Kiriakos flies to right for out number 1 here in the top of the third.
Batter number 24, Zach Pace.
So now back to the top of the order for Zach Pace.
Man on first.
They actually
Diamonds lead 1-0.
got Pace to ground to first in that leading off the ball game tonight. That's good news for the Diamonds because they've had a whole lot of trouble getting this guy out. Left-handed batter waits with a kind of an unusual stance. Feet close together, bat held very low. And here's the pitch, ground ball, and just wide of first, hit very hard. It is just foul going down the right field line. And the count 0-1. So Zach last night, a pair of walks. RBI single, then he's doubled to right, and then he struck out in the 9th. He was on base, I believe, 3 times the night before. Leadoff hitter, the DH tonight. And Zach lofts this one into left field. David is there looking up into the sun and makes the catch. And even though there's been a lot of sunlight, less tonight in left field because of the late start following the home run derby, but even when the sun has been very bright out in left field, none of the left fielders have had any problems at all with balls hit to left. So sun or not, it has just not been an issue. And when you first look at it in the early innings the last couple of nights, you certainly thought that was going to be a problem, but I guess the sunglasses are a lot better these days. All right, 2 outs. As Pace, they get him for the second time, and that's Bukakis who struck out his first time, and he swings and fouls this one off. It's 0-1. Bukakis waits, runner away from first. Neal will look over there, kicks and fires, swing, and a ground ball. Feel it over there. They'll go the short way to second, and a nice play by Rodriguez to take care of Bukakis, and that takes care of the Pacifics in the top of the third. We'll go to the bottom of the third still, 1-0 in favor of the Diamonds.
Batter number 10, catcher Tyler Epler.
All right, bottom of the third inning. Here's Tyler Epler to lead it off, the catcher for the Diamonds, followed by Leo Rodriguez, and then back to the top of the order, and Scott David. So Beatty, who did yield that run in the first, finds himself down 1-0 here in the third. The first pitch, a fastball low, 1 ball and no strikes. But He actually struck out the side in the last frame. Mike Taylor, Joe Lewis, and Tim Battle. And that makes 4 strikeouts in a row. As the next pitch is in there, a strike, and the count 1-1. Dating back to the end of the first inning when he struck out Jose Canseco. Beatty working on 4 straight strikeouts. The 1-1 pitch, that is low, and that makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Epler, right-handed batter, quiet, moving that bat around just a little bit. Whole field covered in shadow now. The temperature really started to cool off, and this one fouled up and over the backstop and out of play. Another good crowd on hand, another nice night at the ballpark. A very entertaining series. Even that first game that was lopsided was still entertaining. Ground ball to third. Martinez has it, fires over to first in time for the out. And that's the first out here in the bottom of the third.
Battle the shortstop, number 11, Leo Rodriguez.
So that'll bring up the shortstop, Leo Rodriguez. And for Leo, single to center last night. Also had a bunt single in last night's game. Swings and fouls this one straight back. He just did miss that one. Fouling it back with some velocity. And he's down to the count, no balls and 1 strike. So this one, swing and a miss, and the count quickly 0-2. And Beatty's starting to pick up the pace here. After yielding that run in the first inning, he's now retired 5 straight hitters. Swing and a ground ball wide of third. That'll be foul. Fielded over there by Adrian Martinez. And the count goes to 0-2. We got Ricky Mejia's ground ball to second that scored David for the only run of the ball game. And the 4 straight strikeouts and the ground ball to third by Epler. Swinging right back to the pitcher, and Beatty, protecting himself, makes the catch. So Rodriguez hit it hard, but he is out number 2.
Battle number 24, left fielder, Scott David.
So here's Scott David, who doubled to start off the ball game. Aaron Miles grounded to first, moving David over to third. And then Mejia's, the first pitch is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. And then Rich Mejia with a ground ball to second, able to pick up that RBI, and that's where we stand, 1-0. So David, a double and a run scored, swings and fouls this one straight back. And he bats here with nobody aboard and 2 outs. Game moving pretty quickly following that late start because of the home run derby. If David can keep this going, Aaron Miles, the player manager, would get a shot. Left-handed batter away, dances out of the way of this one, and that makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Scott, the left fielder, left-handed hitter. And Beatty's pitch, swing, and he just did get a piece. And he's still up there, and Max thought he had the strikeout there, but at least 1 more swing coming to the Diamonds left fielder. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody aboard. Home half of the third here in Pittsburgh, and as the sun has set, night settling over here in Pittsburgh. Temperature started to go down. 2-2 pitch. Just did miss. The count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Aaron Miles waits on deck. David up there. The 3-2 pitch due. Here comes Beatty to the plate. Swing, and this one foul left side. Martinez will give that a look over there down the left field line and watch it go foul. 3 balls and 2 strikes. David waits, laying that bat over his shoulder. Here's the pitch, ground ball wide of first this time. So using the whole field, nothing so far in fair territory, however. And he's doing another payoff pitch. So a good battle here with Beatty to try to keep the third inning alive. Next pitch, swing and a foul, and he stays up there. Able to get a piece of that one. Aaron Miles waiting his chance. A 1-0 Diamonds lead, bottom of the third. Beatty shaking off a couple of signs, and now coming from the windup. You've seen this very often for any pitcher. Ground ball hard down the first baseline and foul. And we've got a good battle and sort of a long at bat right now. Another 3-2 pitch. Beatty, big sigh, kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away. They're going to say foul ball. So David just able to get a piece to stay alive. No runs, 1 hit, no errors so far for the Pacifics. 1-1-0 for the Diamonds as they lead at 1-0 home half of the third. David waits. Here's Beatty's pitch. Swing, and this one lifted in the air to left. And there's Jeremy Williams. Reaches up as he's backpedaling. Makes the catch for out number 3. And the Diamonds retire in the third. Nothing across for Pittsburgh. Will go to the top of the fourth. Still 1-0 Diamonds.
That's into 3. 1-0 Diamonds. Hey, don't forget while you're in town, visit some of our sponsors. Some real good places to eat. Lumpy's Diamond, Sutter Delta Medical Center, West Coast Signs and Banners, Little J's, Home of Traffic Centers, Field Care Maintenance makes this place look really nice. Bellacci Designs, EJ Fair, Steel Town Coffee and Tea, In-N-Out Burger, Red's Barbershop, New Mecca Cafe, Creation Bistro. And if your car goes down, go to Winter Chevrolet and they'll hook you up with a Honda or a Chevy. Those are our sponsors. Hey, folks, those kids are in there with that jersey, that game-worn jersey. Jose Canseco, $10 ticket. We're going to wrap it off with the 9th inning. Get that ticket. Get that ticket to get that jersey. Mr. 4040, Bass Brother, World Series champion.
Seeing you too. Yeah.
All right, top of the fourth we go. Another inning of work coming up here for Dennis Neal, and he'll start this one off with Matt Chavez, Mikhail Hova, and then Jeremy Williams, should anybody reach. We see the catcher, Ricky Gingros. Good start to the outing here for Neal. Kicks and fires, and a check swing and a miss. And the count 0-1. So for Neal, we told you about his last start, June 19th against the Pacifics. June 13th against the Admirals, went 5 innings, a couple of earned runs. Another good outing there. Faced the Pacifics back on June the 7th as well. Left-hander looks in, and slight leg kick this time. Almost looking like a slide step. This one is low, 1 ball and 1 strike. June 7th here against the Pacifics. That was an 8-7 win for Pittsburgh, and no decision for Dennis. 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. 1-1 pitch, swing. This one a hot smash Aaron Miles has got it behind the bag at second. Throws over to first. Dug out nicely by Mike Taylor to complete the play.
One down.
And that is the first out here at the top of the fourth.
Hey, wait, dig that out.
Batter number 10, Miguel Hova.
So really Pittsburgh had Chavez played very well that time as Miles was kind of shaded up towards second. Initially that ball was hit pretty hard right up the middle. Figuring that was going to be a base hit, but skipper able to get to that one and make the play. 1 up, 1 out here in the fourth. There's Mikhail Hova, the very dangerous Mikhail Hova. Big higher leg kick this time from Neal. And Hova swings and fouls it straight back to the screen. Oh, you can smell the hot dogs right now. Smell the nachos. That is a ballpark. Now, in the old days, I would be smelling cigar smoke. Not anymore. Next pitch to Mikhail, and he looks at this one outside, maybe a bit low. The count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Last night for Mikhail, a couple of singles and an RBI, also a walk. So another productive night for the Pacific's right fielder. Mikhail waits, and the pitch to him, swing and a hot smash. Rodriguez has it at short on the hop, stays with it nicely, over to first for the out, and quickly there are 2 down. That turned out to be a pretty tricky hop for Leo Rodriguez, but he stayed right with it. Kind of caught it maybe on the heel, and the glove, and in the stomach. But able to stay with it nicely and make the play. So Mikhail Hova grounds to short. That'll bring up Jeremy Williams. He grounded to third his first time. He's 0 for 1. Quickly 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. And so far, Dennis Neal just doing what he's been doing all year. In complete control here in the early going. Here's the pitch, swung on, line to right, coming over and playing it on 1 hop. Will be the right fielder, Joe Lewis, came in on that ball and couldn't quite get it. But Lewis did a good job to keep it in front of him. And if nothing else, keep Williams aboard at first base. So that'll be a base hit to right for Jeremy Williams.
Batter number 25, Ricky England. 2 down, man on first. We're in the top of the fourth.
So that'll bring up Ricky Gingeras. Yes, the second hit on the night for the Pacifics. And they've got also 1 walk. This one comes here with 2 outs. So 1 on and 2 out here for Ricky Gingeras. And Ricky takes low for a ball. It's 1-0. Ricky a walk back in the second inning. It was sandwiched between a couple of ground outs and a fly to center. So Neal able to pitch around that. Can he pitch around a 2-out base hit? Williams with that short lead going back to first base as the pitch is delivered, and Gingeras swings and misses. Doesn't get it. Strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. So a very entertaining 3 games here. Highlighted by Jose Canseco being in town. Nice treat to see the Bash Brother legend. He's played so many great years with the Oakland A's. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. Aaron Miles over to his right, feeds to Rodriguez covering at second, and that will end the inning. So a 2-out base hit, 1 man left, and nothing across for the Pacifics. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth. Still 1-0 Diamonds.
We're heading to the bottom of the fourth. Here comes the boys. Make some noise, Diamond fans. Hey kids, don't forget, you get those baseballs that are foul and they'll give you candy. Get a lot of balls, get a lot of candy, and go home and cross your parents. Hey, check out pdbaseball.com. You actually can stream in on all the games. Call your friends around the country and they know what's winning this game tonight. pdbaseball.com for tickets, information, stats. Check out BBBaseball.com. Hey, here's our TV crew. Channel 5's even in the house. We're in City Park, Pittsburg, California. Hey, text one of your friends and let them know this game is being broadcast live on TV Baseball right now. Right now.
I got you. No, just squeaking. That's this, man. That's not me. Much louder.
All right, bottom of the fourth we go, and to lead it off for the Diamonds, the player-manager Aaron Miles, followed by Rich Mejia, and then the DH Jose Canseco. Should anybody reach, we'd see the first baseman Mike Taylor. So Miles grounded to first, moving Scott David along to third base in that the first inning after David had doubled, and Miles, left-handed hitter, takes a strike, and it's 0-1. A very productive out by Miles back in the first, as Mejia was able to ground to second to pick up the RBI in the lone run of the ball game so far. And Miles takes this one inside. They count 1 ball and 1 strike. So Aaron Miles, swing and a foul. This one just wide of first. And the count goes to 1-2. Aaron, born 1976, December the 15th. Product of Antioch High School, drafted by the Houston Astros, 19th round of the 95 draft. We're told you played 9 years in the major leagues, including that World Series championship when they beat Detroit 4-1 after having kind of a mediocre season for the Cardinals, winning just 83 games as Aaron takes up high, 2 balls and 2 strikes, but they finished strong, taking home the crown. Aaron, a .281 career hitter in the big leagues, and had a good year with Colorado. Swing, the ground ball right along first base, and just foul. The count remains at 2-2. Aaron in 04 finished 4th in the Rookie of the Year race that season when he was with Colorado. Hit .293. And in 08, hit his high water mark in batting. He was with the Cardinals in 08 and hit .317 with the Birds. Certainly a productive career for Aaron Miles with those 9 years in the majors. Player manager, left-handed hitter, waits 2 balls and 2 strikes, leading off here the bottom of the 4th inning, a 1-0 Diamonds lead. Beatty comes in, swinging a ground ball to short. Gloved over there by Gonzalez, over to first in time. Whoa. And that is out number 1. So Miles grounds to short to start the 4th. That'll bring up Rich Mejia, the owner of the sole RBI so far here tonight. And Mejia bats here with nobody on and 1 out. Beatty's first pitch in there, a strike, as Mejia checked his swing, but that's a strike on location. And they count no balls and 1 strike. Mejia, right-handed batter, that's another check swing. He did go that time. Pitch was probably up high, but it's going to be a strike on the check swing, 0-2. Mejia picking up that RBI with that grounder to second. Swing and right back to the pitcher, and Beatty caught it. Didn't know that he had it, held on anyway, and it's the second time he's caught a comebacker tonight. Leo Rodriguez ripped one really hard at him that he caught. This one kind of a changeup that time, but Beatty able to make the catch for out number 2, and here comes Jose Canseco in the crowd. Well, you know what they want to see. They want to see Jose go yard. We've seen him pick up RBIs with base hits. They've seen him strike out some hitters. But they want to see him do what he's famous for, and he takes a pitch in there for a strike. Boy, and Beatty sure seemed like he humped that one up a little bit. That one looks a little faster than the rest of his pitches so far tonight. 0-1 to the Bash brother. Big right-handed batter waits. The 0-1 pitch swing, and it's one popped up on the infield. First baseman Chavez coming in toward home plate, takes it for the out, and a 1-2-3 inning for Max Beatty, and we'll go to the top of the fifth. Still 1-0 in favor of Pittsburgh.
1-0. Hey, Chef Jay's is back there. You got to go down and check Chef Jay out with this triple chocolate chip cookie, man. If you like chocolate, you'll enjoy that cookie. Handmade kettle chips, house-made pickled veggies, house-made ice cream, sandwich of the month. Chef Jay's is in the house. You get one of those triple chocolate chip cookies, bring it over here to the announcer stand, and I'll check it out for you. Matter of fact, bring 2. Triple chocolate chip. Chef Jay's. Bring the brisket to me. Chef Jay's triple chocolate chip cookies. Stop by the snack bar for all your needs. Hey, Ellen Frank, celebrating the music of the world's greatest vocalist of all time. The world's class Pearl Big Band with vocalists Marcella Houston and Stephen Powell. Saturday, July 26th, 2 p.m., California Theater, Historic Theater, downtown Pittsburgh.
All right, top of the fifth we go. This one moving along pretty swiftly. A pitcher's duel so far here tonight, unlike last night. I saw some of those home runs fairly early, but tonight the pitcher's in control. And Danny Gonzalez will lead it off, followed by Adrian Martinez, and then David Kiriakos, and then back to the top of the order if one should reach for Zach Pace. Here's Neal's pitch, and that one up high, 1 ball and no strikes. Kiriakos flying to right back in the third in his only at-bat so far. No runs, 2 hits for the Pacifics. 1 run, 1 hit for the Diamonds. Neal. High leg kick this time. Swing and a foul by Kiriakos on the right side, over the right side screen and out of play. And the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Remember, I think I said Kiriakos. Danny Gonzalez actually the hitter right now. He flew to center his first time. And he takes a strike in there. And they count 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Pacific shortstop. And now Neal, a little equipment adjustment as he's down to tie his shoe, but he's been in control so far. That 1-2-3 first inning yielded just a walk in that second frame. Pitched around a leadoff single to Adrian Martinez in the third. And pitched around a Jeremy Williams single in the fourth. Next pitch is fouled away. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top half of the fifth here from Pittsburgh City Park. 1-0 in favor of the Diamonds, trying to pick up game number 3 here of this series after dropping the first 2. 11-2 a couple of nights ago, 8-5 last night. High leg kick, here's the pitch, swing. This one lifted in the air to right center. Going over there to make the catch, now being called off by the center fielder. Joe Lewis was going over, but then battle over there. The center fielder taking charge, making the call, and making the play for out number 1.
1 down. Batting number 7, Adrian Martinez.
So here's Adrian Martinez now. That's with nobody aboard and 1 out. Adrian, one of the 2 hits for the Pacific so far. Single leading off the third inning. Neal with the pitch, and this one is going to be inside, ball 1. So Neal to conclude his start so far for the year. June the 1st against the Stompers. Ended up being a loss for the Diamonds 6-3 to Sonoma. Next pitch is the 1-0, and that is low, 2 balls and no strike. A no decision for Dennis, but he did go 6 innings and giving up just 2 runs. So this is 5th start, and so far 4 quality starts to his credit, pitching very well, coming in with that 2.16 earned run average, and it's going down by the hitter. Here's the next pitch, and that is low, 3 balls and no strikes. And this is the first 3-0 count that he's had so far here tonight. Good in control, able to pitch around a walk and a couple of base hits. Scattered all those things. Now a 3-0 pitch due to Adrian Martinez. Here's the pitch, and it's in there, a strike. It looked like Martinez taking all the way. So Gonzalez, a fly to center. Martinez trying to get something going for the Pacifics, whose bats have been silenced so far here by Pittsburgh left-hander Dennis Neal. Low leg kick this time, swing and a miss on the good fastball. And you notice Neal has gone with the high leg kick at times, and then just that slight leg kick other times. It was a slight leg kick that time and really kind of humped up that fastball pretty well. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Martinez waits. Here it comes. Swing and a hopper. Rodriguez, big hop, backing up, fires over to first in time for out number 2. And Dennis Neal's good night continues as Martinez grounds to short. 2 up, 2 down. Here comes David Kiriakos. He flew to right back in the 3rd. He's 0 for 1. So far, the leadoff double. Miles leadoff double to Scott David. And finally plated by Rich Mejia. First pitch to Kiriakos is outside a ball. Remember, Miles grounded to first to get David over to 3rd. And then Mejia picked him up with a ground ball to 2nd. And so far, Neal has made that stand up. There's the 1-0 pitch, swing. That one lined to short. Rodriguez going to reach out and make the catch for the out. And a 1-2-3, top half of the 5th. To the bottom of the 5th we go. Still 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Batter number 5, Mike Taylor.
Bottom of the 5th we go. The Diamonds clinging to a 1-0 lead. And they'll start this one with Mike Taylor, Joe Lewis, and Tim Battle. Should anybody reach, we'd see the catcher Tyler Epler. Now here's Mike Taylor, a strikeout back in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1. And he gets set to face Max Beatty, and the first pitch, swing and a miss on a high fastball, and it's 0-1. So taking a look at the schedule, Stompers coming in following this ball game in Sonoma with that sparkling record. Swing and a miss in the count 0-2. And Taylor in a quick 0-2 hole. Well, the Stompers come in for the 26th, 27th, and 28th. And then beginning July, the Admirals will be here for 2. That'll be a home-and-home series. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Taylor out on strikes on 3 pitches for out number 1 here in the 5th.
Batter number 32, right fielder,
So that'll bring up the right fielder, Joe Lewis. And Joe caught looking back in the 2nd inning. And he takes the first pitch inside. So actually the Admirals, the Stompers will be here the 26th, 27th, 28th. And of course Monday, the off day, as it always is for these guys. The next pitch is taken 2 balls and no strikes. And then Tuesday, the Vallejo Admirals are here. And then that'll go through into early July. That one misses as well. 3 balls and no strikes. So Stompers for 3 after this. And that one is in there for a strike. Crowd thought that was ball 4. Joe Lewis did as well. But he's still up there, 3 balls and a strike. So the Admirals, the 30th, the 1st, the 2nd. And then they'll resume it, everything. And this one is low. That'll be ball 4. So Joe Lewis draws the 1-out walk. So overall, it'll be a 5-game series, 6-game series rather. 3 here, the 30th, the 1st, and the 2nd, and then 3rd, 4th, and 5th of July. It'll be in Vallejo, and the Admirals and the Diamonds will do battle. So a 1-out walk here to Joe Lewis, and he's aboard at first. Joe with his lead, not very big lead, being held on there, swinging a foul at the plate, and the count 0-1. Tim Battle, of course, homered in last night's game. Trying to get something started here for the Diamonds. Quiet night for the offenses so far as both pitchers in control. Just a 1 run so far. Beatty from the stretch, looking over at first base. Trying to keep that runner close. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss on a good fastball. And the count 0-2. Max again ready. Comes set, kicks, fires, swing, and a ground ball, and that will be foul. And the count remains 0-2. So Taylor strikes out to start the inning. A walk here to Joe Lewis. And now Tim Battle up there with an 0-2 count. Brady looking over. Chavez holding the runner at first base. And this one in there. Good breaking ball. A called strike 3. So just a 4-pitch at bat. Another strikeout for Max Beatty.
Batter number 10, the catcher, Tyler Epler.
6 strikeouts for Max here tonight. Certainly had the good fastball. Got him with a breaking pitch that time. So here's Tyler Epler. 1 on and 2 out for the Diamonds. Maybe looking the runner, and out comes to the plate. Fastball low. 1 ball and no strikes. Tyler Epler rounded to third, leading off the third. His first time, he's 0 for 1. Right-handed batter waits. Lewis with his lead aboard at first base. Wind starting to pick up here a little bit. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Did not take a full cut that time. Did Epler? That ball was right by him. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Just as the wind picks up, it starts to die. A very pleasant evening here at the ballpark again. Certainly a place you'd certainly want to be, and the fans are here supported the Diamonds. Swing and a miss. The count 1-2. And Beatty going to that fastball quite a bit. And a lot of the Diamonds hitters have been very late indeed. So Lewis still not getting a very big lead over there. Doesn't look like he's going anywhere. Trying to get that secondary lead. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 7 strikeout for Beatty on the night. And that does it here in the 5th. So we are through 5 here at City Park, going to the top of the 6th. Still 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Hey, with that celebration of music of the world's greatest vocalists of all time, Ella Fitzgerald and Frank Sinatra, we've got 2 tickets for that show absolutely free. You like big band music on a night out in a historic, beautiful restored theater downtown Pittsburgh. Come to the scorer's table right now and I'll give you this nice cup that commemorates the theater. And he's got 2 free tickets to the Ella and Frank celebration of music. Come over and grab these tickets, and you don't have anybody to go with, I'll go with you. There you go. You're welcome. Get some sugar. Yeah. We're in the top of the 6th. Packers lead 1-0. Beautiful, beautiful night here at City Park. Batter number 24, Zach Pace.
Top of the 6th we go. Here's Zach Pace to lead it off. Grounded to first, back in the 1st, and then flew out to left in the 3rd. So Pace 0 for 2. A nice change of pace, if you will, for the Diamonds. Hard time getting this guy out the first couple of games. Not so far here tonight as he looks at a pitch high for a ball. Dennis Neal in control here, has been setting the Pacifics down with regularity. Yielded just 2 hits and a walk and no runs. Neal, next pitch, and this one is just low. 1 ball and 1 strike, or making that 2 balls and no strikes. So Neal has retired 7 of the last 8. Going back to the Adrian Martinez single to right, back in the 3rd. Good in complete control, a 2-0 pitch to Pace, and that's in there. A good fastball, strike 1, 1-0. So Diamonds baseball, a big part of the restoration to downtown Pittsburgh, and of course the old California Theater's been restored. This pitch, ground ball to second. Aaron Miles is there. Gloves, throws, 1 out. So a nice way to come back here for Neal as he fell behind Pace 2-0, but was able to come back and get the Pacific's designated hitter.
Batter number 5, Johnny Bacakis.
Here's Johnny Bacakis. Struck out back in the 1st, grounded short in the 3rd. He's 0 for 2. So if you haven't been to Pittsburgh in a long time, you'll probably notice a whole lot of changes as we come down here. Much better on 10th Street. Brand new school down there as well. Downtown looks so much better. Here's the pitch, and that ball is low. Actually called strike. It is 0-1. I thought that was a little bit low. I think Johnny may have thought it was as well, but that is strike 1. Done a whole lot of good things here in Pittsburgh, putting in the new highway. Bart going to be running all the way through down Highway 4. Here's the pitch, and then makes him dance out of the way, and it makes the count 1-1. course, Pittsburg High School, not far from here, right across the street. And of course, for so long, City Park, the home of the Pirates baseball team, for a very long time, dating way back, I believe into the 50s and maybe even longer. Swing, this one line into left field. That ball's hit hard, but going back there and making the catch is Scott David. So a ball hit very hard by Bakakis, but Scott David able to haul it in for out number 2.
Batting number 8, Matthew Chavez.
So here's Chavez now, grounded to third in the first, grounded to second in the fourth. He's 0 for 2. And he bats here with nobody aboard and 2 out. And fortunately for the Diamonds, unfortunately for the Pacifics, that's been the situation through most of the night. Actually, for both teams, not just the Pacifics, swinging a foul straight back by Chavez. And the count 0-1. And if he can keep it going, I would bring up Michael Hova. He, of course, has very good power. 1-0 in favor of the Diamonds. Neal takes that look in. Now he comes set. Holding that glove and ball up high near his chest. Here's the pitch. Swing. A strike at the knees. And the count 0-2. So Zach Pace, a grounded to second to start the inning. Johnny Bakakis lined one to left for out number 2. And Chavez trying to keep this one alive, but he's down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes. A first inning run and nothing thereafter. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Neal picks up the strikeout, and it's another 1-2-3 inning as the Pacifics go down here in the 6th. We'll head to the home half of the 6th, still 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Dennis Neal. All right, here we go. Bottom of the 6th. Diamonds lead 1-0. Let's get some noise going and get some offense. Let's go. It's rally time.
Bottom of the 6th.
All right, kids, on your mark. Get set, go! Here they come. Are they running? Hey, there's the winner. All right. Good job, kids. Give the kids a hand, guys. Man, where's that triple chocolate chip cookie at? If you got one, you should have got 2 of that one here. Leadoff batter in this inning, number 11, Leo Rodriguez.
All right, bottom of the 6th we go. 1-0 in favor of the Diamonds, but it has not been easy for this Diamonds offense, as now Max Beatty has retired 15 of the last 16, struck out the side last, and he did yield a walk. That was the first person who had reached in quite some time, and he's given up just the 1 hit and the 1 run so far. Swing and a foul up and over the screen by Leo Rodriguez here to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. Leo lined to the pitcher, his only time at bat back in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1. So a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel here in Pittsburgh. And this one is swung on and hit foul and out of play. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. All right, Rodriguez up there with a 1-2 count. Right-handed batter waits, takes a call, strike 3, and down he goes. Another strikeout for Max Beatty on a good fastball.
Batter number 24, the left fielder, Scott David.
So here comes Scott David. Well, that's been awfully quiet tonight for the Diamonds, but so far, Dennis Neal has been able to make it stand up. But Max Beatty, who could not pitch around that David leadoff double in the first, after that is matching him pitch for pitch. Good old-fashioned pitcher's duel here for Pittsburgh. Nobody aboard, 1 out, and the pitch to Scott David, and he looks at that one and that is ball number 2. 2 balls and no strikes for the Pittsburgh left fielder. Next pitch, and that one is inside and low. 3 balls and no strikes. So Rodriguez starts the inning with a strikeout. David trying to get things started for the Diamonds. Aaron Miles would be next. And the pitch to Scott, and that one is in there. Taking all the way is David, and that is strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike. Game like this kind of makes me recall some of those great pitchers' duels I saw years ago. Brings up that World Series game. Ground ball, and that is going to be up the middle, a base hit into center field. David will take the turn at first and hold there with a 1-out single, and that'll bring up Aaron Miles. So that breaks his string where Beatty had retired 16 of 17, including those 8 strikeouts. So hopefully for Pittsburgh, this will get them started. Here comes Aaron Miles now, 1 on and 1 out. So far tonight for Aaron, grounded to first, a productive out. Get David to third, who later scored, and then a ground ball to short. And the skip's 0 for 2. Takes a fastball in there, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. So Miles to be followed by Rich Mejia, barring the double play, and then they can keep it alive thereafter. Get a chance to see Jose Canseco one more time. So Jose here for the 3 games, so this will wrap it up for him. Swinging a little number. Pitcher coming off the mound to get it. Beatty fields, throws over the first, and the ball dropped over there by Mike Taylor, who couldn't hold on to the low throw. Everybody's safe, and now the Diamonds are in business here, 2 on and 1 out.
Come on, fans, let's cheer them on. Let's get into this one.
So let's see how they score that. It looked like Beatty, who got off the mound in good shape, made a low throw over to Chavez over at first base, and he could not field that low throw. So either that is going to be a swinging bunt base hit or an error on the pitcher. And we'll see how they score that. It looks like they are going to give Aaron an infield base hit on that. So Aaron with the infield single, and 2 on, 1 out for Rich Mejia, who takes a strike, and Rich, the owner of the only RBI so far here tonight. So Aaron Miles, the swinging bunt. Diamonds in business, and Mejia, fastball that just does miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, pitcher's duel so far, but the Diamonds trying to make some noise. It starts making me think back to that was the 1991 World Series between the Atlanta Braves and the Minnesota Twins. This ball is low. And the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. That was a very exciting World Series, and I believe that was the Game 7, ended up 1-0. See how a 1-0 baseball game can still be exciting. That one certainly was. Here's the Mejia kind of offered at it, held up, but it's going to be a strike on location, and the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Scott David, the leadoff hitter, aboard at second. Aaron Miles aboard at first. 1 out, and now a 3-2 pitch due to Mejia. Let's see if the Diamonds put a play on. Neither runner being held on. Infield looking for the double play ball. Here's Mejia, and he just gets that one off the handle of the bat, fouling it straight back. And very fortunate he didn't get plunked with that one. Count remains at 3-2. I remember John Smoltz very well, and that I think actually the count is actually 2-2. Now the correction on the scoreboard. So a 2-2 pitch. Upcoming here to Mejia. Here it is, swing and a ground ball to third, not hit very well. And they're going to go to second. The ball gets away and it goes out into right field. And here comes David to score. Aaron Miles is going to scoot on over to third base. And some poor defense here in the frame by the Pacifics, and the Diamonds have taken advantage. They lead 2-0.
Batter, number 33, designated hitter, Jose Canseco.
So that was just a grounder to third by Mejia, not hit very well. And Adrian Martinez went over to Kiriakos covering at second, and David just couldn't hold on to the ball. So that'll be an error on the second baseman, and that plates another run. And here's Jose Canseco now batting with runners at first and third, 1 in, a 2-0 Diamonds lead. Here's the pitch to Jose, swung on and fouled straight back. And that gets the crowd going. Listen to the oohs and ahs coming over here from the Diamonds dugout as well as the crowd. So far in the inning, a single to center for David. Miles the swinging bunt. He had grounded to third, but then the error at second. David scoring his second run of the ball game. And now Canseco bats 1 out, first and third, 1 in. Here's the pitch, and Jose bends out of the way of that one. And the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. So a strikeout for Canseco back in the first. He popped to first in the fourth. He's 0 for 2. Trying to turn that around in a hurry. And now Canseco very upset about something being said to him over there, and now the dugout's going to clear over here from the Diamonds, and we've got some possible fisticuffs here. That's certainly not what we want to hear, not what we want to see. It's been a very pleasant series so far, but now temper's beginning to flare, and I'm not sure what was said over there in the Pacific's dugout, but whatever it was, Jose did not take kindly to it, and he walked over there toward the dugout in a very tense manner with the body language that suggested, I'm ready to throw down. And Jose's still upset, still pointing over at somebody in that Pacific's dugout. So would look to almost be a benches clearing brawl, and now the umpire is trying to get control of this one. They do. And the Diamonds returning to their dugout. So Jose was probably upset. Now he continues to talk to the umpire. He's probably upset about Beatty's pitch that nearly hit him, that bent him out of the way. And I guess somebody in the Pacific's dugout said something that Jose did not take kindly to. But everything back in order here. Everybody back in their proper dugouts, and Jose up there with a 1-1 count. Miles at third, Mejia at first. 1 out of the inning, 1 in for the Diamonds, trying to pick up another run. They lead it 2-0. Jose waits. Here's Beatty's pitch, swing and a pop up. And this one is going to be up and over the screen and out of play. Matt Chavez from first base giving that a long look coming over here to the screen, but he quickly runs out of room. Count 1-2 to Jose. And of course, you know what the crowd wants him to do. They want to see him go yard here. So not a bad inning for Beatty. Should have had a couple outs, didn't get them. One was that swinging bunt. They called that one a hit, but Chavez couldn't field over at first base. Then the error, so he's trying to pitch around a couple of bad defensive plays, and this one is going to be low and corralled nicely by the catcher, Ricky Gingros. It could have been a run right there, and another run in, and a runner down to second. Infield looks for the double play. They'll try to get out of this with one swing of the bat. 2-2 pitch to Jose. Swing and a miss. And a low fastball, and down goes Canseco. His second strikeout of the night. Ninth strikeout for Beatty here on the evening.
Batter number 5. First baseman, Mike Taylor.
So here's Mike Taylor. Struck out leading off the second, struck out leading off the fifth. So Beatty finds himself trailing here 2-0, giving up one run here in this inning, was certainly not his fault. Now he's got 2 outs, trying to limit the damage and get his team back in the dugout. Up for the top of the 7th inning, down only 2-0, and Taylor takes a fastball in there, a strike, and it's 0-1. I was talking earlier about these great pitchers duels, remembering a Game 7 of that 1991 World Series when the Twins and the Braves. Remember the Homer Hankies? Here's the pitch to Taylor. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Boy, and Beatty certainly has not lost any velocity as we're getting late in the ball game. Able to hump that one up pretty well against Taylor, and really that was right by Mike that time. 0-2. Mejia aboard at first. Aaron Miles aboard at third. There goes the runner from first. Swing and a foul tip held by the catcher Gingros, and the inning is over, but some poor defense by the Pacifics, and the Diamonds plate run number 2 as we head to the 7th inning. Diamonds 2, Pacifics 0.
As we head into the 7th inning, Diamonds 2, Pacifics 0. Hey, we got a little musical chairs going on. All right, we got the kids tonight. All right, the winner gets a signed autograph ball by Jose Canseco. Hey, if you guys still got that raffling that jersey and that hat off, we're going to wrap it up in the 9th inning. $10, bottom of the 8th. That changed, bottom of the 8th. The top 9, bottom of the 8th. One hand, look at this. Here we go. Musical chairs. Let's go.
God, the great right-hander.
Back in 94.
Yeah. He was with the 84 Tigers. He was their ace.
Yeah, we played with Kirby Cook.
Yeah. His name is so good. I don't have that technology.
Batter number 10, Miguel Hova. We're in the top of the 7th.
All right, top of the 7th we go. 2-0 in favor of the Diamonds. And another inning of work here for Dennis Neal, who's been masterful here so far tonight. No runs, a couple of hits, and a walk. And that's all the Pacifics have gotten so far. Miguel Hova leads it off here, and the pitch to him, and Miguel takes strike 1. So far for Miguel tonight, grounded to short. Leading off the second, grounded to short in the 4th. He's 0 for 2. And following him, Jeremy Williams, Ricky Gingros, and should anybody reach, the shortstop, Danny Gonzalez.
Yeah, good
But a little insurance run for a little insurance here. And Hova rips this one into right center. That is going to get down for a base hit. And Mikhail Hova is going to have himself a leadoff base hit starting the 7th inning. So Hova singles to right center, and that'll bring up Jeremy Williams. And the left fielder so far tonight grounded to third in the 2nd, single to right in the 4th. So he's 1 for 2. There's 3 hits now so far for the Pacifics. So Neal will have to pitch around a leadoff base hit. Hova not a very big lead, and coming to the plate. Gingro's able to, pardon me, the Diamonds catcher Tyler Epler able to handle that one to keep it from going to the backstop. Over being held on by Mike Taylor. 2-0 Pittsburgh lead here in the 7th, and this one is going to be a bit low. 2 balls and no strikes. So quickly, the Pittsburgh left-hander in a bit of trouble here. Comes the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a ground ball. Could be 2. Rodriguez has it to second for 1. Back to first. The Diamonds double play. Just what the doctor ordered. And another good pitch from Dennis Neal. Got the friendly hop over to Leo Rodriguez. Able to go to the bag himself at second. And follow through over to first for the double play. So that one goes 6-3. That clears the bases. Now nobody aboard with 2 outs for Ricky Gingros. Left-handed batter waits. Here's the pitch to Ricky. Swinging a little chopper along the first base line, and that'll be foul. 0-1. So here's Gingros trying to make some 2-out noise. I believe he broke his bat that last time, so he'll go get some new lumber. Trying to recall that 1991 Game 7 in that great World Series with John Smoltz. And I'm trying to think of the Twins' great pitcher. Also pitched a long time for the Detroit Tigers, and it's slipping my mind here right now, but one of the great pitchers' duels of all time. Certainly because it was a World Series game. We've had an excellent pitchers' duel here tonight. Max Beatty and Dennis Neal. So far, Neal getting the better of the deal so far, leading 2-0. Here's the pitch. Gingros swings and a ground ball wide to first. That makes the count 0-2. For some reason, the name Doyle Alexander keeps popping into my head, and Doyle did pitch for the Tigers, but is not who I'm thinking of. In any event, bases empty following that 6-3 double play off the bat of Jeremy Williams, when it looked like Neal might have been in a little trouble after the single to Hova, and then he fell behind Williams 2-0. This next pitch, oh, it took a lot off that one and just did miss. And that makes the count 1-2. But Neal looked like he was about to get in his first jam of the night, able to get the hopper over to short, and Rodriguez able to complete that 6-3 double play. Neal will look in. 1-2 pitch, slight leg kicks and fires. There's Aaron Miles, falls down to his right, throws from the ground to get in. Nice play by Aaron. Couldn't keep his balance, but he can make the play. Side retired, 1 hit. After the double play, nobody left. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th. 7th inning stretch time for Pittsburgh. 2-0 Diamonds.
Hey, we're at the bottom of the 7th inning. Beers are now $5. Hey, go down and get yourself a $5 beer. Support the Michael Valley Foundation. Their big tournament is August 8th and 9th. One of the oldest softball tournaments in the state. Supports scholarships and all kinds of nice things for young people. The Michael Valley Foundation. Beers are now $5. Hey, they're going to finish that musical chairs. Here we go. Here we go. Got a winner. We're in the 7th-inning stretch, you all. Let's go. Let's stand up and stretch it out. Go down to Snack Bar and get your last fill-up. Beers are now $5. Support the Michael Valley Foundation. Also, you got to go get one of those triple chocolate chip cookies. I haven't had one yet. Also, hey, don't forget, Ellen Pratt celebrating the music of the world's greatest vocalist of all time, the world-class Pearl Big Band. Batter number 32.
All right, bottom of the 7th we go. 7th inning stretch time. Here's Beatty in for another inning of work. Ground ball by Lewis to second. Picked up glove there, thrown over to first base, and a nice play by Kiriakos going to his right, making the play on the run, and quickly one out here in the 7th. So Lewis grounds to second to start the inning. And that'll bring up Tim Battle, the center fielder. A couple of strikeouts so far for Tim Battle, but nothing to be ashamed of there as he takes this one in there for a strike. Max Beatty has racked up 10 strikeouts so far. Beatty back to the stretch, swing, and this one a broken bat. A little ground ball to second, handled over there, over to first, in time for the out. And Kiriakos to his right the first time, to his left this time, and able to take care of that one. And there's quickly 2 outs.
Batter number 10, the catcher.
Well, that'll bring up Tyler Epler. And the pitcher that I couldn't think of, that was Jack Morris in that 1991 World Series. He and John Smoltz with a great pitcher's duel to finish that 1991 World Series. Epler takes up high, ball 1 ball and no strikes. In a game that ended 1-0, had a couple of twists and turns, but you know, sometimes American fans, this one is taken a bit low. 2 balls and no strikes. But we're all, you know, about scoring. We certainly like to see it in basketball and football. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and that ball is in there, a strike. It's 2-1. But it just goes to show you that even in baseball, a 1-0 game can be really exciting. And even this low-scoring game here at 2-0 still has got quite a bit of excitement. Looked like the Pacifics were going to get something going. Then they got the double play. This one is popped up wide of third. That'll be up and over the screen, over the Pacifics dugout. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Epler batting, nobody aboard here in 2 outs. Grounded to third, leading off the third, struck out in the 5th. Here's Beatty. Sort of a wind-up there. And this pitch is going to be outside. This one almost kind of steps back really quick and then comes to the plate with almost looks like a slide step or a variation of a slide step. Now a higher leg kick this time. Swing and a miss for strike 3. 11th strikeout for Max Beatty. And that ends the inning for the Diamonds as they go 1-2-3 in the 7th. Let's go to the 8th. Still 2-0 Diamonds.
All right, let's go to the 8th. We'll go to the 8th inning, and the Diamonds still lead 2-0. What a great crowd out, man. You all showed this team how much love you have for them and how much support. Let's build this up, folks, and make the Diamond a proud part of what we have here in the city of Pittsburgh. Thank you all, fans, local, around the Bay Area, Antioch, Brentwood, Oakley, Bay Point, Martinez, Conference, Walnut Creek, near and far. Thank you for coming out and supporting this team that belongs to all of us. Thank the city of Pittsburgh for all that they do. Keeping the city with the nice things to have and to do. We see you out there, camera crew. Thank you for what you do. People who care, great job, guys. Hey, pick up a little bit after yourself. Don't make it so hard on these young people afterwards. We'd appreciate it if you pick up. forget our bad boys. Great job, guys. Batter number 12, Danny Gonzalez.
All right, top half of the eighth coming up here. Another inning of work for Dennis Neal, who came in with a .217 earned run average, just the one win, but had pitched very well in his 4 previous starts here in 2015. And he certainly kept that going here, pitching another fine game here against the Pacifics. Gonzalez to lead it off. The right-handed batter waits, and he takes high, ball 1. Gonzalez, Martinez, Kiriakos, the first 3 to face him, and should anybody reach, back to the top of the order with Zach Pace. So Martinez does have one of the singles tonight for the Pacifics. They've got only 3 hits, all singles, and here's the pitch, and that ball is really not sure exactly where that did miss, but called the ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Gonzalez flied to center, and then flied to center in leading off the 5th. Now here's leading off the 8th, swing, and a shot into center field. Going back is Battle. He's there, and he makes the catch. So a fly ball that had some carry to it, but a routine play for Battle in center field, and Gonzalez is out number 1. So here's Adrian Martinez now. Nobody aboard, 1 out. Adrian, the proud owner of one of those 3 singles tonight. Single to right, leading off the 3rd inning. And the Pacific's third baseman, right-handed hitter, tagged to strike. And it's quickly 0-1. I told you about the .217 earned run average that Dennis came into tonight's game with, and it's going down by the batter. Let me do some quick math to figure out where he is right now. Let's see, carry the 1. It's lower. Definitely going down here tonight as he continued to mow down the Pacifics. This next pitch is low, 1 ball and 1 strike, and so far a gem delivered by Dennis Neal. And really for the Pacific starter, Max Beatty, he's done very well, unable to pitch around a Scott David leadoff double in the 1st. Swing, that ball's hit hard. That's into right center field. That's going to be a base hit. And Martinez is going to stop at first base, and he's got himself a 1-out base hit, and that'll bring the potential tying run to the plate in the person of David Kiriakos. So here's Kiriakos, 0 for 2. He flew out to right field in the 3rd and then lined to the shortstop in the 5th. And he takes this one outside, ball 1. So that is the 4th hit for the Pacifics. No runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for San Rafael. 2-2-0 for the Diamonds. Neal, look at the runner now. This one, it's going to be lined down the 3rd base line and just foul. Boy, that was close. Martinez still running down to 3rd base. Now he is aware that the ball is foul. He'll have to return to 1st. But that ball was crushed. So Martinez, single to right center. That ball was hit hard. Kiriakos, a very loud foul ball for strike 1. Here down the left field line. Martinez trying to battle through the 8th inning. Look over at the runner. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Here it comes. Swinging a ground ball. Could be 2. Rodriguez has it to second for 1. Miles is returned. Throw to first. In time, a double play. Second double play for the Diamonds here tonight. And that ends the 8th inning. So Neal does it again. Gets into what looks like a little bit of trouble. Double play gets him out of the jam. Go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 2-0 Pittsburgh.
The Diamonds lead 2-0. Hey, this is the last time to get your tickets for the raffle of that signed game-worn jersey and that hat. $10. We're going to wrap it up next inning, last time, the last call. New pitcher on the mound for the Pacifics, left-hander, number 20, Chris Lovejoy. Batter number 11, shortstop, Leo Rodriguez.
When he introduced us at the Cisco thing or something, I've seen him out here. Oh, it's like Jackson. With a wood bat, huh? Yeah, that may be.
All right, here's Leo Rodriguez to lead off the eighth and takes ball 1-1-0. Chris Lovejoy now in the ball game for the Pacifics, and the left-hander comes set and fires the ball low. 2 balls and no strike. Lovejoy 3-1, 15 innings of work so far for the Pacifics, 11 strikeouts, a 1.14 ERA. Leg kick, swing, very quick pitch, and that ball is going to be up high, 3-0. So a very nice outing, a great outing really for Max Beatty. 8 innings pitched, 2 runs, 1 earned for the Pacifics right-hander as Lovejoy pours in a strike and they count 3-1. And leading off the inning here is Leo Rodriguez, the 9th place hitter, and they'll turn it back over to Scott David. And there's the pitch. That's up high, ball 4. So Lovejoy has been excellent here coming out of the bullpen for the Pacifics. Actually picked up 3 wins and 4 decisions. Just that 1.14 earned run average, but he walks Leo Rodriguez to start the frame. 2-0 lead here for the Diamonds, looking for more, and here comes Scott David. Double and a run scored in the first, and he flied to left in the third. Singled and a run scored. Singled to center in the 6th and a run scored for David. So he has scored the only 2 runs of the ball game so far. Give you the scoring summary here in just a minute as Rodriguez takes the lead. Here's a snap throw back to third, and he's in there just in time. So in that first, Scott David doubled. Aaron Miles grounded the first, moving David down to third. Rich Mejia grounded the second to score the run. And in the 6th, the run single to center for Scott David. A swinging bunt by Aaron Miles. And then Mejia grounded to third as a throw back over to first, not in time. Mejia grounded to third. And then Adrian Martinez tried to feed the ball over to David Kiriakis at second to get the out, and Kiriakis couldn't hold on to the ball. And that led to the second run, and that next pitch is in there, 1 ball and 1 strike. And that really is that's all the scoring so far. Both pitchers really on their game here tonight. Max Beatty seeing Chris Lovejoy come in, and now kind of short arms that throw back over to first. See if the Diamonds trying to put on a play here. Following the walk by Rodriguez. He's over there at first with nobody out. Left-hander looks down at the runner. David's going to put the butt down. It's going to stay fair and now go foul. And Gingro's going to make sure it stays foul as he swats at the ball and picks it up as it trickled up the third baseline. So David trying to lay down the bunt, and that was not a sacrifice bunt. David Scott out of the batter's box very quickly. He was looking for a base hit. That was not just to try to get the bunt down and get the runner over to second. You always wonder if they put a play on, but runners that we've seen on first base with a left-handed pitcher on the mound, and nobody's been able to get a good lead. In fact, a couple of guys picked off. Well, one guy picked off last night. Should have been a second. The ball dropped at first base. Here's the pitch, and blocked by Gingros, and Rodriguez with that secondary lead now has to scamper back into first base as Gingros able to keep that in the vicinity, keep it from going to the backstop. So a nice play by Gingros there, and now they count 2 balls and 2 strikes. David a double and a single and a fly to left. Bad land on his shoulder. Here's the pitch, and that one's taken up high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now with the count full, you wonder if they wouldn't start the runner. And if nothing else, try to stay out of the double play and give Aaron Miles maybe a chance to hit with a runner in scoring position. When you lead 2-0 late, you figure you're kind of playing with house money, but we'll see. There's a throw back over to first. And see, Lovejoy, when he goes to the plate, throwing that ball with some very good velocity and overhand, when he goes to first base, kind of almost alligator arms the ball a little bit. Takes a long time to get out of his hand. See if Leo picks up on that and gets a little bigger lead. Swinging a ground ball to short. Could be 2 to second for 1. Back to first. Not in time. So it's going to be a fielder's choice off the bat of Scott David. That eliminates Leo Rodriguez, out number 1 in the inning. And now David the runner at first, and here comes Aaron Miles.
Batter number 16, second baseman, Aaron Miles.
So here's the skipper, Aaron Miles. Switch hitter now up against the left-hander. Will switch over and back from the right side. Aaron tonight grounded at first. That was a productive out. And that run scoring first, grounded to short, and had that swing bunt. That turned into be another productive at bat for Aaron. Contributed to that second run, swinging a foul straight back from Aaron. They count 0-1. So a pretty good night at the plate for Miles so far, even though the ball hasn't left the infield off his bat. Situational hitting is sometimes just what you need, particularly in a low-scoring game. So 0-1 to the skip. Diamonds lead at 2-0. On a relatively cool summer night here in Pittsburgh. Lovejoy to the plate, and this one is outside. And the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Anthony Schultz flying solo with you here from City Park in Pittsburgh. The Diamonds, after a couple of losses here the last couple of nights to the Pacifics, trying to pick this one up. And here's the pitch, swing, and a foul straight back. And the count goes to 1-2. So Max Beatty pitched really well. He ends up going 8 innings, giving up 2 runs, just 1 earned. Lovejoy picking up for him here in the 9th. And Dennis Neal, a real gem from Neal so far, has yet to yield a run. He's given up the 4 hits. He's gotten 2 big double plays. Here's the pitch, swing, and a hopper. Over to the right side, picked up by the second baseman, fired to first in time to get Aaron Miles. Nice play by Kiriakos, going almost behind the bag at first base to field that ball and somehow still able to get the runner. Very nice play by Kiriakos, who's shown some very good range at second base tonight. So Aaron Miles, a ground out to first. Or actually a ground out to second behind first. And here's Rich Mejia, who picked up that RBI with a grounder to second back in the first. And Mejia, this one hops up there. And Scott David's going to stay aboard there at second base. Well, let's see if the Diamonds could pick up a very big insurance run here as they lead it 2-0. Bottom of the 8th inning. A 2-run lead for the home team. Trying to get off the schneid as they've lost the last couple here to the Pacifics. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a good fastball. Snap throw back to second on gets away, but not far enough for the runner who would advance. So David back in safely, and he remains aboard at second base. So Rich Mejia grounded to second for that RBI in the first, and lined back to the pitcher in the fourth. And grounded to third. That turned into the error by Kiriakos at second base that led to the second Diamonds run. He waits, swing, and a foul straight back. And he got a good rip at that one, fouling it back with some velocity. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. I don't believe there's anybody up in the Diamonds bullpen. It's one of those cardinal rules that you used to hear about in baseball where you don't take a pitcher out when he's throwing a shutout. Well, I see that so often these days. You can throw that out the window. Another foul straight back. You know, you used to hear that constantly, and you never would take a pitcher out when he's throwing a shutout. And the obvious reason is, well, he's pitching so good, why would you take him out? But the last couple of seasons, I've seen it so many times, and I've seen it work quite often. Lovejoy, the 1-2 pitch, swing and a pop foul right side and out of play. And the kids will go chase that one down. Remember, the kids retrieving foul balls get candy for the foul balls that they retrieve, and that brings back some nice memories for me. Is when I was in my Little League days and pre-Little League days, you'd get a snow cone for returning a foul ball. Do they even make snow cones anymore? Oh, that was a long time ago. Swing and a foul up and over the right side and out of play, and Rich Mejia stays up there, and the count remains at 1-2. So for the Diamonds, a run in the first, a run in the sixth, and that's all. Max Beatty, an excellent outing for the Pacifics, and Neal, an even better outing for the Diamonds here tonight. So this will conclude the 3-game stint for Jose Canseco with the Diamonds, and the Stompers will be in here tomorrow night. Here's Lovejoy's pitch, and that is high, ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lovejoy, look back at the runner at second. Here's the pitch that's in the dirt. Gingros with the nice block. And I tell you, Ricky has been very good on those in these 3 games that I've watched. He has been pretty much nails knocking those balls down, keeping those from getting to the backstop. And he does it here one more time. Now a 3-2 pitch. No force on David, so not necessarily going here on this pitch. He's not going. The 3-2 pitch. That is going to be slapped into right center field, but it's going to be right to the center fielder, Johnny Bakakis, for out number 3. It was hit hard, but Bakakis right in his tracks to make the catch, and that'll do it for the 8th. We'll go to the 9th. Last chance for San Rafael. They trail 2-0.
Can you give a man a jersey? All right, he's done. Book him and book him. Get back up.
Jack Morris.
All right, folks.
91.
Let's cheer these Diamonds on. Get a 1, 2, 3 innings. And we'll pack this one up and head to the house.
Couldn't think of that earlier. Bugging me.
Dan Why did he get like a walk-off?
Well, he scored the run.
He scored it. Well, maybe yeah. I know he's involved.
Yeah.
One way or another. Feels like the end of a
Leadoff
great
batter.
adventure or something. Hate to see Canseco.
Number 24,
Crowd sure loved it.
hitter, Zach Pace.
All right, let's start the top of the ninth. Last chance for Zach Pace and the Pacifics. The good news is Pace, the leadoff hitter, will start the inning. The bad news is they trail 2-0. A couple of strikeouts in the game here for Dennis Neal. And so far with the shutout, trying to preserve this for the victory here for the Diamonds. Pace waits, Neal kicks, fires, and the first pitch taken, well, maybe a little one outside, 1 ball and no strikes. So just a couple of strikeouts on the game so far for Dennis Neal, but he's also picked up a couple of big double plays when it looked like the Pacifics were mounting a threat. Neal was able to quickly turn them away. Pace takes this next one inside. That's a ball. And Pace, who's been very prolific getting on base and wreaking havoc here in these last couple of games. Quiet tonight, grounded to first in the first, flying to left in the third, and grounded to third, leading off the sixth. Neal now behind 2-0. Left-handed batter waits. The 2-0 pitch on its way and just inside. 3 balls and no strikes. Johnny Bakakis to follow. Matt Chavez after that. And should anybody reach, Mikhail Hova. Here comes Neal. 3-0 pitch. You give him the green light? I doubt it. Here it is. And it's low. Ball 4.
Dennis, come on, babe.
Ball 4, Walter. Batter. Number 5, Johnny Bakakis.
So a leadoff walk. That is just the second walk of the night, yielded by Neal. And here comes Bakakis, a strikeout victim in the first, grounded to short in the third, flied to left in the sixth. He's 0 for 3. Neal will look over at the runner at first, being held on over there, and this is in there for a strike. So a couple of times tonight, after giving up a hit or a walk, allowing a runner to get to first, and then falling behind a couple of hitters, Neal has been able to come back to make good pitches and really create relatively easy double play opportunities for his defense. And the Diamond defense is not disappointed their starting pitcher tonight. They've turned them both. This one fouled back to the screen, and they count 0-2. So Neal has pitched a gem so far, trying to finish it up with a complete game. And certainly in the old days, that used to be rather common. And now in the last, well, I suppose, 20 years or more, the complete game has sort of gone by the way of the dinosaur. You don't see this very often. Here's the pitch, and that is going to be up high, ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But Neal trying to get the complete game shutout and send the crowd home happy. Last of the 3 games here for Canseco. Nice to him to stop by. The crowd certainly got a treat for that. Diamonds trying to pick up a victory, and now a throw back over the first. And Zach Pace not taking a very big lead, just trots back in, being held on by Mike Taylor. Outfield and shifted around toward right. Here's another throw, medium deep for Bakakis. Couple throws over to first base and try to keep that runner close and give that infield a chance to turn another double play. Neal has induced 2 big double plays so far here tonight. The 1-2 pitch, here it is, swinging a ground ball to third, and that one is just going to scoot through into left field for a base hit for Bakakis. So Johnny's got his first hit of the night, 5th hit overall for the Pacifics, and now San Rafael in business, 2 on and nobody out. And let's see if that gets the Diamonds bullpen stirring. So that'll bring up Matt Chavez, and now Aaron Miles wants to go out and talk to his starter, Dennis Neal. And that ball hit somewhat hard, at least modestly hard, but certainly was not a blazer coming off the bat, but it did find the hole between short and third. And now the umpire comes out to break up this meeting. So a festive night here tonight. We had, of course, the raffle and the home run derby. We had the musical chair contest. What a fun-filled night and so many things going on here. Just a lot of fun at the ballpark. A lot going on here at City Park. Be part of it. Stoppers coming in tomorrow, and now Aaron Miles going to leave his starter in. And here comes Matt Chavez now. And Matt 0 for 3. Grounded to third back in the first, grounded to second in the fourth, struck out in the sixth. So Matt 0 for 3. Can Neal make him 0 for 4? Pace at second, Bakakis at first. Tying runs aboard here in the ninth. Neal, a look back at first base. Here comes the pitch, and that ball is just low, ball one. You know, sometimes late in a ball game, a home plate umpire might expand that strike zone, saying, hey guys, get the bat off your shoulder. It's getting late. Apparently that's not happening here so far in this ninth inning. Runners not being held on. Now Miles not in the ball game. Second baseman creeping closer toward second base. Now a 1-1 pitch due to Chavez. Runners with their leads. Neal being very deliberate here. Now he's in a bit of a jam. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a good fastball. So Neal, from the start of the game here to the ninth inning, still has that live arm. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Good chance to get a strikeout here. Certainly be a good spot for it. He's got just 2 on the night. Can he make it number 3? A 1-2 pitch. Neal will look back at second. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The fans started to clear out just a little bit, but still a lot of people left. It might be a summer night, so not a school night, but it's certainly a work night. Here's Neal coming set. 2-2 pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a foul back. The count remains 2-2, and the battle continues. So Chavez up there, and Mikhail Hova waiting on deck. A very powerful right-handed hitter to follow. Got a good one up there and 1 more to follow here. So certainly Neal would love to get another double play ground ball. Strikeout wouldn't be bad either. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chavez down on strikes for the second time in the ball game, and a big strikeout here for Dennis Neal, his 3rd of the game, and that is out number 1 here in this ninth inning.
Number 10, Mikhail Hova.
Here's Mikhail Hova, but certainly far from being out of the woods is Dennis Neal. 4 good outings coming into tonight's game. This may be his best outing, or is his best outing of the season so far. Trying to complete it here, and Hova takes a strike. 0-1. And certainly, Dennis has not lost any velocity, at least from what I'm seeing here in the ninth inning. Zach Pace walked. Bakakis a single to left. Chavez is struck out. 2 on, 1 out for the Pacifics. Turn and a look back towards second. We're trying to get an idea. Aaron Brill is taking over for Aaron Miles over at second base, and he's playing right behind the bag, leaving a big hole on the right side. Now he scoots back there as the pitch comes in. Hova dances out of the way of this one. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Hova waits. He grounded to short in the second, grounded to short in the fourth, single to right center. in the 7th. Swinging a hard hit ball down the right field line, but foul. That is strike 2, allowed strike 2, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two aboard for Mikhail Hova. Looking for his 2nd hit of the night. Pacifics still looking for their first run, and they need 2 to tie here to keep this one going. Runners with their leads. Here's the pitch, swing and a pop fly. That's going to be into right field. That could be trouble down the line. And nobody can make the catch, but it is a foul ball. That kind of disappears from my view going down the right field line. And Joe Lewis and Mike Taylor, Joe Lewis the right fielder, Mike Taylor the first baseman, giving chase on that one. Nobody could get to it. And that one falls harmlessly in foul territory, deep down the, or fairly deep down the right field line. I thought for a moment that was going to be a chance to get the 2nd out. Dennis Neal, bent over at the waist, glove up near the throat, looking in to get a side. Now the left-hander comes set. Runners with their leads. Hova awaits a 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Mikhail Hova for out number 2. 4th strikeout in the game for Hova. He had struck out only 2 coming into the inning and gets 2 big strikeouts when he absolutely has to have them. He got the 2 big double plays when he needed them, when the Pacifics looked like they were mounting a threat. Now he gets a couple of big strikeouts when they were really mounting a threat. Here's Jeremy Williams, last chance for the Pacifics. 2 on, 2 out. 2-0 Diamonds. Right-handed batter waits, swing, and a big drive into center field. Going back. And this ball is caught by Battle up near the fence, and the ball game is over. Oh, what a play by Battle. That ball nearly looked like it was going out, but the Diamonds win it. An exciting finish here from City Park as the Diamonds get the win. We'll take time out and be back to wrap this one up in just 1 moment.
Diamond baseball, it's only going to get better, you all. We thank Jose Canseco for coming to be with us tonight. Come on, talk to him, folks. He's been a class act the whole time he's been in the city. Been very kind to kids, taking pictures, autographs. We thank you very much, Jose, for being with us.
All right, everybody, back to City Park here in Pittsburgh, and what a finish. A great ball game won by your Pittsburg Diamonds 2-0. And boy, let me tell you, it was a little dicey here in the 9th inning with the Diamonds holding a 2-0 lead. Zach Pace led it off with a walk. Johnny Bakakis singled to left. And then Matt Chavez and Michael Hova were both struck out by Dennis Neal. And then Jeremy Williams, representing the last chance for the Diamonds, he ripped one to center field. That looked like it had a chance to get out of here, but Tim Battle, the center fielder, went back near the wall to make the catch, and that wraps it up. So Dennis Neal picks up the win. He goes 9 innings of shutout baseball. Max Beatty, he gets the loss, deserved a better fate, but defense kind of let him down, and really the offense could not muster nearly anything against Dennis Neal. Beatty goes 8 innings, gives up 2 runs, just 1 earned, and that will do it. So the Pacifics, after winning the last 2 ball games, lose tonight to the Diamonds. A final score 2-0. I'm Anthony Schultz. For all of us here at Diamonds Baseball, good night from City Park.
You've been watching Bay Area Sports TV with your host, Tim Banks, and camera 4, Thomas McDonald.
we thank you for watching another episode here in Pittsburg, California of the San Rafael Pacifics versus the Pittsburg Diamond, winning 2-0.